Not going to lie, I'm tired. That being said, there's a couple of rumbles going on, some flashing going on. Might be a thunderstorm coming in. Makes sense. It was really hot today, so it's possible. And this was quite the game. This was just an amazing game. And here's the funny thing. I think this is the best game the Canucks have played in the entire series. I do. I think this was their best game. So, first period, Jordy Ben was in, Myers was out. I thought Jordy Ben played fine. Jordy Ben, no penalties, no egregious errors on the ice. I thought he played well considering he's got to step in for Myers. Brouwer and Steen were out for the Blues, and Jake Allen was starting in place of Binnington. There's something with Jake Allen I've always thought that, for him it's more psychological. I've never thought physically there's any reason he's not one of the better goalies in the league. And I was thinking about it earlier today, and I wish I had mentioned it in the preview. But I thought, without fans in attendance, he wouldn't feel any pressure. He can just go out and just mentally take it as if, okay, this is just a game with me and the guys. We're just out here playing, just a game. We're not. It's not a big deal, and psychologically he can relax, because again, it just feels like it's psychological with him. And we've had this discussion for years. So the shots were 2-0 Canucks at 6 minutes. It was kind of a tentative start. Shen takes a penalty, power play for the Canucks. Pettersson and Hughes both broke their sticks during that power play, and it was Pettersson's first, and then Hughes. And again, it's just one of those things where you're trying to blast it from the point, and it just doesn't go because your stick broke. Markstrom denied Schwartz on what was his first save of the night. The Blues pressed. Parayko had a blast that was stopped. The shots were 3-0 early for the Canucks, but the next 6 went to the St. Louis Blues. Or 5. The next 5 went to the St. Louis Blues. And so there was kind of a momentum shift back and forth, and we would see that all night, really. The shots were only 5-4 for the Blues at 13 minutes. Both goalies, though, looked dialed in early. 7-6 were the shots for Vancouver at 16 minutes. So, again, minor differences in terms of the momentum, but the shots and the pressure would pick up as we go through the game. The Blues had late chances. Miller was doing a good shot blocking job. Lots of block shots by Vancouver tonight. Really, honestly, great job by them defensively. Horvat late hook upset the Blues, and there was a scrum at the horn. So Horvat, I think it was around 5 seconds left, that the Blues felt he was guilty of a hook. Both teams were mad at the referee by the end of the night. That's kind of how this works. And I expect a lot in the comment section about how egregious this was or that was. Second period. Too many men on the ice for the Blues. The Canucks get a power play in the first minute. Allen stopped Pettersson, but Miller would get a goal from Pettersson and Hughes at 1 minute and 19 seconds. That's a power play marker. That's Miller's third for Vancouver. Again, he didn't score in the playoffs for the Rangers or the Lightning. It works with Vancouver. JT Miller's a great fit with the Vancouver Canucks. Again, kudos to Benning on that one. Then there was another fast break, this was a fast break goal for the power play. Virtanen then was nearly set up on another rush. Hughes, a lot of confidence. Canucks pushed. We will come back to Hughes' confidence as we get through this, though. Markstrom did a snow angel, which stopped a goal. He can't stop all of them. Justin Falk scores from Thomas and Blais at 8:16, and that led to the Canucks trying to get their answer at around the halfway mark. This game went back and forth. This was a very evenly played game. Virtanen missed wide on a break off of a Pietrangelo turnover. Perron would score late in the period from O'Reilly and Sanford. 18:02. Absolutely fantastic goal by Perron right in the top corner. And that's the first lead St. Louis has had in this series. Not for long. 37 seconds later, it's Pettersson from Roussel. Bar down. Perfect shot. It is, and again, this might have been just Jake Allen thinking, hey, this is like, playing with the guys. Where, look at my shot. You think that shot was good? Look at this one. And that's kind of what Perron and Pettersson did there. So it's 2-2 going to the third. Allen snagged a shot from Pearson. That was the Canucks' first of the third period, and then he stopped him again. Pearson, I thought, had a decent game. Overtime, he scared me a bit, but decent game. Much better 5-on-5 game for the Canucks. I've talked in the first 2 games in the reviews about how 5-on-5, the Blues were the much better team. Tonight it was a lot closer Tonight, definitely Vancouver was pressing 5-on-5 the way they normally do on the power play or with the penalty kill. It was a completely different team out there. Stetcher and Perron then have had enough of each other, so we go to 4-on-4. It didn't turn into a fight. It might have, but it didn't. So they just both go to the box for a couple of minutes. Perron honestly got under the Canucks' skin all night. It's what he does. Every time there's a crunch at the net, he's right there. Miller almost got one. Canucks were pressuring. There was a post then for Pietrangelo as the action goes back and forth in this one. And it was a very evenly played game for the most part. The Blues pressed with 8 minutes left. That pressure led to icing. And that was after Markstrom had denied both Shen and Perron. Now, Perron at some point in this game decided he had enough of his stick, that the stick was a problem, and he broke it twice. So, snap, snap. And then he tried to snap it again, and it wouldn't, so he just flung the rest of it onto the bench. But honestly, that's when Shen's playing well, when Shen's emotionally dialed in. And it felt like maybe for the first time in the series, the Blues were really emotionally dialed in on this and really zeroed in on what they needed to do. They knew they could not afford to lose this game tonight. So, Besser to Pearson almost connected. I thought Besser had some good chances tonight. Pearson had another good one. Furious back and forth action again, but the Blues were really desperate and you could see it. And then Louis Eriksson takes a penalty with 2 minutes left because, sure. So exactly 2 minutes left, Eriksson takes a penalty. So at this stage, if you're a Canuck fan, you're going, so overtime, we hope. It was only a single minor, and it was drawn by Kyrou. Jordan Kyrou in the lineup for the St. Louis Blues. I like this kid. He's fast. He's very fast. He's quick. He's got good acceleration. He's very fast. And I mention that, not in a sarcastic tone. His speed made a huge difference to that Blues lineup tonight. They've been getting burned by Vancouver's speed on these fast breaks. Having Kyrou out on the ice to counter Hughes kind of sort of worked. So the first power play of the game for St. Louis ends the regulation, and we go to overtime. In overtime, post for Jaden Schwartz early. Falk got aggressive in the O-zone in the overtime, but he'd been doing that all night. So the Blues, one change that they made tonight too, and Craig Berube clearly behind this, was the defense pinch. Get in on the Canucks. And the plan being simple. Don't let them get that fast break. Don't let them get that moment to look up the ice and, bank it to Besser, Pettersson, Horvat, Miller, whoever. So they were in on the defense right away, and that involved guys like Falk coming in and being aggressive and being below the line. I saw Scandella doing it as well, and Scandella's pretty much a defensive defenseman strictly, and he was doing that as well. Kyrou's speed was countering the Canucks' speed in overtime. Markstrom stops Perron. Perron had a great game. He really did. Besser had a chance on a turnover that was stopped. And Mott. I have to say, Tyler Mott today in the overtime and just in general, what a warrior that guy was. That was 26 block shots. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and say Oscar Fantenberg. He had 5 block shots in regulation. I don't know how many he had in overtime, but he had 5 in regulation. So we're going to go to the small board now. Here we go. Markstrom stopped a chance from Parayko. So Colton Parayko loading up from the blue line. Allen then snagged a good shot from Tanev. Perron dangerous on every single shift. Every time Perron's on the ice, because the pucks go on the other way. And that line played very, very well tonight. Miller was denied on a good Canucks chance, which was that whole shift did pretty well. Markstrom stopped Shen. No penalties were being called. Keep that in mind, because the Canucks wanted a penalty and they didn't get it. Mott collided with Allen. Not going to be a penalty there. Mott just blew a tire and happened to collide with the goaltender. And then Virtanen gets called for a trip. Blues power play. To which Travis Green did not agree. The Canucks bench did not agree. But was it a trip? Yeah. Did they let something else go? Sure. But, it's one of those things that it can happen. Bench was unhappy, but the power play for the Blues was neutralized. So the power play did not affect the outcome of this game. Not really. Because the Blues were already getting more shots than Vancouver throughout the game. And, just overall. So they didn't get any shots during the power play. Markstrom stopped O'Reilly, and Perron was in it again. So he stops the O'Reilly shot, glove on it, and Perron sticks the glove. That's what he does. He chops the glove, slashes the glove. And then on the sign, in the corner of the building it said sleep is overrated. Whoever's in charge of what is supposed to be, displayed around the arena, the rest is around the arena. Good job. Sleep is overrated? Yes. Yup. Then there was more Markstrom heroics on Pearson's own goal attempt. So this is one of those Pearson trying to tip it away, tips it straight in on Markstrom. Markstrom stops it, gets a stick tap from Pearson for that. Not a slash, like a Perron slash. But anyways, then we get to the overtime, and I should, because I know there was an assist on it. I didn't see who passed it up. So I'm going to take a look here. And O'Reilly and Gunnarsson got the assists on this one. So it goes up to Shen, and at 15:06 he ends it. So 15:06, Shen gets it. He was also the first star of the game. Markstrom was number 2, and Pettersson was number 3. I think that's fair. Again, I think the Canucks played probably the best game of the 3. They end up coming out on the losing end of it, but they get to play again tomorrow. And the Blues have to be just as desperate again tomorrow, and we have to see if Jake Allen's going to have 2 back-to-back really good games. So the breakaway was interesting. So Shen gets the breakaway pass. Hughes had pinched down low. And I know Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman. I agree. Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman the Canucks have probably ever had. Already, first year rookie. Yes, I can agree with you there. But he was pinching down low a lot. And all I kept thinking was, I really hope that spot's being covered and they're not going to get burned. And what the Blues had set was Shen was at center ice the exact same way that the Canucks have had Horvat at center ice, and they've burned the Blues. So this was the Blues beating the Canucks at their own game. And in overtime, they get that victory. So Hughes pinched down low. And again, Hughes generated a ton of opportunities tonight. I'm not trying to put Hughes down, but that's the counter. That's where if a team figures that out, they'll be like, okay, so Hughes is going to pinch down. When he does, we've got this play, because at the point, maybe it's Eriksson. Whoever's at the point, it's not a defenseman. So anyways, St. Louis has now made it a series at 2-1. They get a chance tomorrow to try to tie it up, and Vancouver has a chance tomorrow to make it 3-1. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. St. Louis outshot Vancouver 11-8 in the first, and then all the shots were in the second, 14 each. 12-9 St. Louis in the third, and in the overtime, 12-10. So in 15 minutes of overtime hockey, 22 shots. The overtime was crazy. 49-41 were the shots for St. Louis. So on a night or on a day where we saw over 100 shots in the Calgary-Dallas game, we saw 90 in this one. The hits were 46-45 for St. Louis. This was a very physical game as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what tomorrow night's game is like, where these teams are probably going to be pretty tired. 0 for 2 on the power play for St. Louis, 1 for 2 for Vancouver as their power play continues to be a story in this. Jake Allen, 39 saves on 41 shots for a .951 save percentage. Good game for Jake. And Markstrom, 46 saves on 49 shots for a .939 save percentage. Excellent game for Markstrom as well. So there you go. We have a series. St. Louis is in it. And we'll see whether or not Vancouver can get that third win or if St. Louis ties it up tomorrow night. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.